India is at a pivotal moment in its history of demography, the demographic profile. And when we talk of demographic dividend, all that it implies is having a population between the ages of 15 and 29, which is the most productive, most influential, and which can move the society and the nation. Although, if you look at the productivity of work, maybe from 29 you can go right up to 40, and that is what forms the basic workforce of any nation. Today, we have almost 60 crore of our population who fit into this 15 to 29 age group. It's a huge number. And if we have to make use of this favorable dividend that we have, we need to look as to what we want to do. If we want advantages, then there are a couple of things which are very important. First and foremost is education, quality education. Education that leads to opening the mind, education that allows the youth to do critical thinking, education that allows you to get involved in problem solving, and education that ensures that you form the main intellect of the nation. And that is why today when they say we must emphasize on STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, this is what is the most important part. And with education and quality education comes as to how the youth is going to get skilled. Unskilled youth will never be a dividend. Unskilled youth will never be able to ensure that what the nation wants as part of its agenda can be fulfilled. And skilling is another very, very important aspect. When you look at the demographic dividend that we talk of, compared to what the other nations have in the world, I think it is important that we motivate our students, we motivate our youth, and we inspire them to take the path that will lead to their own progress, their own prosperity, and will contribute to what the nation wants. And the first and foremost, I think, and there are a lot of teachers here, first and foremost, we need to instill in our youth, nation comes first, always and every time. Without this in your heart, nothing is going to happen. Without the nation, we are nobody. And if we have this in us, this spirit, mind you, whatever you have learned, whatever you have acquired, whatever your teachers have taught you, is going to take you as far as possible where both you and nation will prosper. Therefore, there is a need to motivate our youth. And what is motivation? Well, there are many definitions of motivation, and the simplest that I found is from the army. Making a person do something which you want willingly. Not by coercion, not by rule of the law, but willingly. That is what motivation is all about. And that is what inspires. That is what takes you forward. You have the motivation, you will be able to understand why you have to take things forward. Let me just give you a small example. In the army and the armed forces, we get 18 to 20-year-old new entries. We train them for a year or lesser at times. And after that, these young men who came to us as boys are capable of leading on their own. They are the ones who can go through a hail of bullets. They are the ones who can attain whatever targets are given. And they are the ones who win the war for you. What is it that we do to them? There is no magic wand. There is no magic formula. There is no instant coffee to be given to them. All that we do is motivate them and train them and skill them so that they become useful members of the organization in which they go to. And we imbibe in them the mantra of Naam, Namak and Nishan. That is their own reputation, the allegiance to the nation and to the organizations that they are in, and upholding flag of the nation. That's all. And I'm sure if you look back, you will find for yourself that they have never let you down. They have scaled the icy heights of Kargil, where not even a blade of grass grows, where people huff and puff to walk up the hill, and they have delivered what was looking impossible. All because of Naam, Namak and Nishan. And therefore, there is a need for us to imbibe in our youth the values and the skills which can take them further and further as useful members of the nation. Many things are required. One of the first hurdles that comes when a student goes out after he has been equipped with the knowledge that has been imparted or the skills that have been imparted. What about employment? If you don't have avenues of employment, you will have a large segment which gets demotivated, demoralized. And therefore, as a nation and as society, there is a need to create opportunities for employment. How a person wants to use that opportunity is up to him. But we need to create those employment opportunities. And employment opportunities are not just the governmental job. Unfortunately, over a period of time, because of the colonial hangover, everybody thinks employment means government employment. No. There's a large amount that is available today, and it all depends on your ability, the ability of the youth as to how they want to make use of it. Tremendous amount. And today, with the startups that have been given a fillip, the amount of support that is being given in startups, it helps the youth in choosing a path that they want to follow, a path that they decide themselves, not what has been told to them. In 2016, the startup ecosystem that we had just about 416 startups which were registered. And what is the state today? Today the state is that you are as a country, number 3 in the world where the unicorns are concerned, startups which go above 1 crore. You are number 2 in the total number of startups that are here. And you are number 1 in the number of startups that start every day. So if you give avenues and opportunities, the youth will be able to take it. And large number of our startups are successful, large number of them are in technical fields, large number of them are innovative. Because without innovation today, it is not possible to be successful. And what is innovation? Innovation is something which you do by thinking out of the box. And let me also give you the flip side of this. A lot of times when you think out of the box, you get into trouble. Not very many people like somebody to be thinking out of the box. But that is the only way to innovate and do things. We all, especially in Punjab, have known the word jugaad. Everybody knows what is jugaad. And what was jugaad? Jugaad was, you had lack of resources, you had lack of opportunities, so you innovated on something by which you could overcome this. That spirit, because the resources are available, because the finances are available, has gone down a bit. I think we owe it to all the youth that we come in contact with to rekindle that spirit of innovativeness or jugaad, so that they are able to move forward, they are able to think of new ideas, they are able to work out solutions to problems that they face or the society faces. A lot of times when you look around, you find a lot of very interesting things which come from China. Everybody says, Chinese have invented this, or Chinese have come out with a good solution. Why? Very simple. China allowed educational opportunities for its youth and then told them that if they have to earn, if they have to do well, they must come up with things which will sell, which will make things better. So you find large number of things that have come up which emanate from there and slowly go into the manufacturing sector. That is what is needed. What is needed is, do not depend for looking for a government job. Yes, there are opportunities in the government jobs also, but the government jobs are not more than 10% of the overall job market that you have. And hence, it is this innovativeness that will help you in gaining what you want to gain. It will help you in prospering, and if you are very innovative, if your ideas are good, sky is the limit. Sky is the limit, and if you have imbibed in yourself the spirit of never say die, you will be the most successful person on this earth. And that is what is needed. Let me also give you 2 other examples. I had the opportunity to go to Pittsburgh and visit the university out there. In their engineering department, and USA has large number of faculty from India, various places. So there was a Gujarati professor who was in the engineering department, and he told me that in the vacations he takes his class out of USA to various countries to practically implement ideas that they have learnt in the class. And at that time, the last visit that this class had done was in Africa to put up greenhouses for the farming community. So I asked him, how much did it cost? Because I wanted to compare with the cost in India. And he said, sir, it costs less than $100. If you look at less than $100, we can't create a greenhouse in India in less than $100. Now, this kind of practical training, this kind of practical usage of the knowledge that you have acquired, this kind of incentive to work and implement the ideas that you have learned is what ultimately brings you success. It ultimately ensures that you are able to think beyond the books that you have read and the ideas that you have acquired. And that is what is success all about. We as a nation have always moved forward because the motivation somebody gives, whether it is a leader, whether it is a community leader, whether it is our teachers, whether it is somebody else, it is motivation that counts. And let me now give you an example from the armed forces. I used to be an instructor in our commando school in Belgaum, and we used to get lot of students from various other forces. The Navy, the Marine commandos that they were making, they had a system that they would send them to us so that we can evaluate them physically and mentally. And please understand, difficulties get surmounted not by physical prowess, but what you have here. It is the mental strength that matters. So we had a team of Marine commandos that had come to the school, and as part of the training, you have a thing called confidence jump. It's a jump from 60 feet, and to do the jump, you first swim, then climb the tar, walk a plank, which is 9 inches wide, and at that height does move a little bit so that it can give you a little shiver. And then you go onto the rope, do a monkey crawl over it. At the required distance, then you bring down both the legs and take permission to jump. So this Marine commando, and I haven't forgotten his name unfortunately, Joginder Singh. He was not from Punjab. Joginder Singh generally people associate with Punjab. Joginder Singh went up beautifully. He did the monkey crawl, brought down both his legs, straightened his body, and stayed quiet. So the instructor who was conducting it, he said, take permission. There was a pause. And then, normally the norm is that he should have said, Commando Joginder Singh, ready to jump. So Commando Joginder Singh, in taking permission, says, Commando Joginder Singh marne ke liye taiyar hai. Now that was not something which was desirable. So he was told, take it properly. Again he said the same thing. And then the shot was fired so that he can jump. He didn't jump. He didn't leave his hands. Rather, he had the strength and ability to take his legs back up after doing all that and crawl back onto the safety of the tar and the plank. He was told to do it again. Again the same thing happened. It happened thrice. So I decided to go up and talk to him. So I said, what has happened to you? You are so strong, you are so good. He said, साहब, नीचे जो पानी है इतना कम दिखाई देता है कि मुझे लगता है कि मैं पानी के बाहर गिरूंगा और मैं मर जाऊंगा. Actually, from that height, that pool looks very small. So his fear was there. I think 5 minutes of pep talk, 5 minutes of assuring him that nothing is going to happen, and giving him an example by doing it yourself, ultimately took out that fear. So, what I'm trying to convey is that people who guide the youth should be able to not only walk the talk, but should be able to live the talk. That is the most important part. It is this which will actually motivate a person. It is this which will actually spur him to do something which appears difficult. And it is this which will remove the various phobias and fears that actually attack him when he wants to do something. So there is a lot that is dependent on us as a generation which wants to motivate the youth and inspire them so that they can do better. We need to pace with them, and I'm specifically saying pace with them. Don't expect that in 6 days he'll become Google. His learning, his preparation, the way he will move will take time. And he has to be guided if you actually want to motivate the person. Otherwise, nobody jumps from 60 feet. I think they're mad. But in everyday life, there are instances which are as bad as jumping from 60 feet. And that is where you require that confidence that I have somebody who will ensure that I am able to do this. And once he has done this, or she has done this, things will move. And I'm very sure that what you turn out of this institution, if you can inspire your students, motivate them, they will carry the name of the school in the topmost positions in the country. There are many things that happen, and today we need to guide our youth, the force which is for the future, to ensure that they are the ones who will take on the task of taking the country forward. The country will only move forward at that time. With these words, let me thank each one of you, and I'm sure you will, with me, ensure that whichever body of youth we talk to, we interact with, we motivate them, we inspire them, and ensure that they are the anchors and the backbone for the future. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.